These visitors are at a museum dedicated to the legendary Titanic. Here, anyone can experience just how freezing the water was when passengers plunged into the open ocean. One man could only last 8 seconds, but a determined young woman decided to push through. Despite the bone-chilling cold, she endured an impressive 40 seconds. It's chilling to imagine what those people felt back then.
Why do you think that we
Back to another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. On today's video, we got some of the most disturbing TikToks happening now. That's going to change your reality. Let's go and get into it.
I know everybody heard about this cargo ship and this oil tanker colliding, right? So y'all, a U.S. oil tanker ship carrying jet fuel mysteriously collided with a cargo ship. So this happened in the middle of the North Sea. And the cargo ship that collided with it, with the oil tanker, was carrying sodium cyanide. So I'm sitting here asking myself, how the hell do this even happen? Both of these ships got radar, right? And then you got jet fuel mixed with sodium cyanide colliding, making a fire. Do y'all know how dangerous that is? Sodium cyanide, and when mixed with water, it creates hydrogen cyanide, which is a deadly gas. So now we got to talk about the timing. The U.S. military just happened to be involved in this because the tanker was on a U.S. Navy charter. So now the question is, was this really an accident? And why was this cargo ship on its way to Rotterdam? That port is a major hub for military logistics, black market deals, and global connections. So I'm confused. Is this an attempt to stop it from reaching its destination? Their main argument was that it was low visibility, and that's why the collision happened. But like I said, they have radar. There's no excuse for this, y'all. So I need y'all to drop y'all thoughts down below, and y'all tell me what is going on. What caused this?
Okay, breaking news. In 2025, we now have boats colliding too. A major rescue operation is currently underway after an American oil tanker and a Portuguese cargo ship collided in the North Sea just off the coast of the UK. Now, reports and videos show that both vessels are currently on fire and that a number of people had abandoned the vessels in lifeboats. A British Coast Guard helicopter is being dispatched to the scene, and efforts are underway to extinguish the fire, rescue the crew, and mitigate any environmental impact from the incident. Now, details about how this collision happened are still unclear, but what we do know is that the American oil tanker was anchored before being struck by the Portuguese cargo ship. We also know that this was just one of 10 oil tankers enlisted in a US government program, which is designed to supply armed forces with fuel during times of armed conflict or national emergency. Now, we don't know yet if there are any casualties, but of course, I'll keep you guys updated.
There is no job in this country that can justify paying you less than $20 an hour. It is 2025. I don't care what city you live in. I don't care what state you live in. I don't care what your work experience is. Less than $20 an hour is totally unacceptable. And quite frankly, for a lot of these Fortune 500 companies that are making ungodly amounts of money, it's blatantly disrespectful. Do you know how hard it is to live by yourself for less than $20 an hour? Do you have any idea? I'm about to turn 30. $20 an hour was considered a good wage when I was like 16. It blows my mind every time I see job postings anywhere that say start right now, $15 an hour. Are you crazy? They're still living in 2005. You can talk like it's 2005. You can ask people to work like it's 2005. You can run your business like it's 2005, but you can't pay people like it's 2005 anymore. And the only thing crazier than jobs still offering to pay people less than $20 an hour is if for some reason people do actually watch this video. I can 100% guarantee you, if you go in the comments right now, there's going to be a ton of people that disagree with me and think, you know, offering to pay people a livable wage in 2025 is just totally out of this world. It's not realistic and it can't happen. And that's the only thing crazier.
What is even going on right now? A reporter for InfoWars, Jamie White, was unalived Sunday night, I believe outside of his house. This story just went public about an hour ago from AJ. We're about to get into a little bit of detail in a second, but I mean, this is absolutely absurd. You probably know who InfoWars is. Now, I can't show who the owner is on this certain app that has to do with a timer, but his abbreviation is AJ. And you know, if you've been watching him, you know that recently he had a run-in with the courts about the whole Sandy Hook thing. TikTok, I'm not getting in no detail.
I'm Sally Fernandez. Police on the scene in East Austin at Douglas Street and Old Torf Street. A 911 call came in just before midnight last night. Bear Tryon has been there for us within the last few hours.
Police really releasing few details about what happened overnight, but this is what we do know right now. Police say they actually found the victim here in the parking lot of this apartment complex. EMS ended up taking that man to the hospital where he later died. Right now, police will not say exactly if he was shot or stabbed, only saying that he had obvious trauma.
This is extremely weird for many different reasons. I'm not going to point no fingers at all. But first, they found him when he was still alive. So with that being that, is it possible he could have told them what happened? Because as of this minute, nobody is saying anything. Nobody knows nothing. And now also, his last night alive was spent at InfoWars Studio working late into the night. Gotta block out the guy behind me for TikTok. So he had quite literally stayed late for work and just a few hours later was dead. AJ behind me says that him and some of the other crew went to his house in the morning because he didn't come, and they found out that there was yellow tape everywhere, that there was a certain substance everywhere. We quite literally live in the day like none other where information is quite literally dangerous. It always has been, but not like now. So I guess we all just wait and see if more facts come out. If facts actually be facts. One thing is for sure.
I mean, something fishy happened, right? People don't just walk home from work and get offed, right? Normally. It happens. There's, sometimes something bizarre happens where there's a crazy thing, but usually when somebody gets offed, it's for a reason, argument, something like that. But in that type of scenario, something fishy, y'all. He was doing something, you know what goes on in the InfoWars over there. There's a lot of fishy stuff that, he's banned from all these apps.
The situation is very, very fishy.
Jamie was murdered last night outside of his home, just a few miles away from our studios. And we are the folks here breaking that news first because his family has been notified, and his good personal friends here that were very close to Jamie have talked to his folks and family. We sent some people over this morning when he didn't answer the phone, because he's always here early, loves to work, loves to fight tyranny, loves to promote freedom. And when they got to the apartment complex, there was yellow tape everywhere and blood all over the parking lot.
It's crazy that these big news stations are allowed to post a lot of AJ content, but if someone like me does it, I get a strike on my channel. I got strikes on my channel on TikTok for uploading something I downloaded, screen recorded from TikTok and uploaded it, and I get a strike, but their video's up. You know what I mean? I don't understand it, but that's the TikTok game, y'all. That's social media.
There's a whole network of tunnels over here.
Tunnels under Wichita?
I'm just gonna drop
tunnels under Wichita?
A whole fucking sprawling network to the point where there's even a whole generation of people down there who've never seen the sun. I know them. I know it.
You know people seen the sun.
In the tunnels under Wichita?
Yeah, they're not good people.
For real?
Don't ever go there.
I don't even know where the tunnel would start, bro.
Stay away from the bridges. Stay away from
the bridges.
Yeah,
believe it.
The Johnny, not the Johnny Mac, the one over here, a little bit further towards MacArthur and shit.
For real?
On Broadway, don't do it.
Damn.
There's a typical They look like storm drains. Go a little further, they're no longer storm drains. I'm telling you.
And there's people down there?
Yes.
And you said you met them?
I was forced to, but yes.
What?
Yeah, that was when I was 16.
What?
If you believe it, y'all, because I watch a lot of these, people that are on their e-bikes or e-scooters, and they go and through the bad areas of towns, right, in Phoenix, in Vegas, in LA, and there's people that live underground. We know that in Vegas, there's people that live underground, and I'm sure there's some people even deeper, and they have offspring that probably have never seen the light. I just watched a video yesterday of the lizard hunter that goes around the streets of Phoenix, interviewing people, and this lady who's homeless just said, I just had 2 kids. That's homeless, y'all. What about the kids? You don't even think, but those kids that's just going to be their normal. You know what I mean? So I could see it happening underground tunnels like that, and they never see the light of day.
There's certain videos circulating around on TikTok talking about elites eating mermaids, and I just want to make this very clear, okay? Mermaids do in fact exist. First of all, you have to understand that certain elites, let's just say, aren't like us. underneath their, let's just say costume. But aside from that, if you have the balls and confidence and a team that just so happens to have some soundproof equipment, as dumb as that may sound, you can actually hunt them in some areas of the ocean. The only reason that you don't know about shit like this is because you don't explore areas of the internet outside of just Googling shit, okay? There's certain groups on Telegram, especially on the dark web, and I'm so serious right now, with fishermen that come from certain coastlines, and this can range anywhere from California all the way to Australia. They're literally all over the world. And they'll talk about not only catching them, but post their weight, their size, their length, their colored hair. I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes into this. They even post pictures. They've even posted them on TikTok, but people don't believe that they're real most of the time. And announce out in the open, sometimes announcing that they're actually hunted down by the FBI, CIA, whatever it may be, that they deliver them to people that have a shit ton of fucking money. There's actually some hot spots in the United States. For example, if you go to the very end of Virginia Beach around 3 to 4 a.m., which I still hear stories on a monthly basis of people being taken out into the ocean by them, but regardless, you might see some sketchy ass looking people. Just know that there's a lot of aspects of this reality, including mermaids and cryptids even, that exist, but you just don't know about them. And many of you aren't aware of them simply because your mind isn't open to them actually existing. And you might call me crazy, that's completely fine. There's thousands of other people that know this information as well. I've even had personal experiences with cryptids. I even recorded them on camera a couple years ago. The lot that was across from my house, I actually caught what looked to be a Jinn, or in quotation, the Hat Man that was following me. I've caught the Fae on camera. I have these videos like long down in my TikTok. I'm pretty sure I have a playlist of them. But I mean, even in Colorado, I've had some skinwalker experiences. I've had a Wendigo experience that was the most terrifying fucking day of my entire life. If you go out to look for it, you will end up eventually fucking finding it. I'm just being completely honest with you right now. You can even ask the natives up in Colorado. They will tell you some crazy ass shit. But as for mermaids, I can tell you where to look and what time to do it.
You know, they had kids on displays in incubators. You know, so it's almost like you're showing people like how children are made. You're teaching them how to farm. You know, you're teaching them how to grow food. You're teaching them all these things, and it's like, do the people not know? And that's where the other part that kind of started to blow my mind. Like, why are you teaching people agriculture? Don't they already know how to grow food? Like, didn't they go across the ocean and whatever? Like, you don't know how to have food, you know? So you see all of this, and yes, it was like some strange situation where people were showed, you know, technology, and then that technology would vanish. Even the big steam engines that were just massive, you know, 10,000 square feet engines, those all went away. And like you said too, the electric trolleys, they were covering up the roads with mud, so that people didn't even know that electric trolleys even exist. Because when you see this, like 1876, the Philadelphia World Fair, you see the rails that were there, and then when they had the fair, there's mud on top of it. And it's like, oh, so people can walk. That's what.
Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So some pack.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
This is where things blow my mind. They basically just took footage from a show called Super Sentai, and then they just said, well, we want to make it American. Everything where they are Power Rangers was already filmed, and it's already from another show.
Wow.
And the only things that they filmed were the scenes where they were teenagers without their stuff on.
Seriously.
The Yellow Ranger in Super Sentai was a male,
okay.
which is why the Pink Ranger has a skirt, but the Yellow Ranger doesn't, is because the Yellow Ranger was a male in the original Super Sentai series. But then in America, they're like, well, let's do a girl. But they still had to use the stock footage that came to them. In fact, to the point where the action scenes that were from Super Sentai series, they're English voice dubbed over it. So like Rita Repulso was not speaking English. Someone was just dubbing a voiceover. And you know how they would get in their machine? They'd be like, we're going to do cool stuff. And they'd have their arms going all the crazy.
Super hand motion.
It was just all overdubs from the scenes.
Big Power Ranger fan back in the 90s, y'all. When I was little, I had all the toys. The pillowcase was Power Rangers. That guy just crushed my dreams, y'all. Ruined my childhood.
Its own country. True. And you just mean this in like a...
It's his own country. You heard of Louisiana Purchase?
Oh, no, okay, hold on.
Everywhere else they have counties. Louisiana has parishes. It's owned by France. We're under Napoleonic law.
So you feel like
I don't feel
you know Louisiana country.
Yeah, it's his own country.
All right, so fuck it.
I decided to take my beagles out for a run. I am way out in the woods. The beagles are way down there running and playing. And I came across this. And I mean, I am out in the woods. What the hell is that?
That's in.
This Big Mac is now 7 months old. Y'all have been asking about it. Drum roll, please. And there she is, looking as beautiful as ever. I mean, look at the cheese on that. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. No mold on the bun. Yeah, the meat has a little bit of mold. You can see it on the edge. Many of you said you must be keeping that in a special storage container, sealing it from air. I'm not. This thing is just sitting up in my kitchen, just sitting there. Matter of fact, too hot of a place, honestly, to put any food. So you think there'd be mold all over it. But that shows you how many chemicals are in this thing that it still looks that good. Where's the mold on the bun? Yeah, loaded with preservatives. You can't eat this stuff, man. If it's not decaying in here, yeah, you're not digesting it either.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your older homie, Mr. Black, aka the South Mountain guy. And I just want to let you guys know that this is just the first dragon, people. This is just, for all you non-believers, this is just the first dragon. We are going to look at and study all 5 dragons that we found on this mountain. So if you're baffled and you've been triggered by this one dragon that I've shown you, just wait till you see. Just wait till you see the other dragons. See that dragon? You see the horns, the mouth? Yeah. It's your older homie, Mr. Black. Go with God, stay with Jesus, and remember, you're here second. We're going to see some dragons. I promise you, you're going to see a lot of dragons here. Peace.
South Mountain, man. Shout out to South Mountain.
It's moving so fast, dude. How is it possible? I'm holding it still.
Do not ever let your plants listen to rap music. Just wait until you hear this. You're going to be like, what is going on? And it's shocking. Okay, so this all started with birds. Basically, as it became known, when birds chirp, the frequency and vibration of their chirps, you know how they chirp about an hour or two before sunrise? Their chirps are an alarm clock. The frequencies wake up plants and tell them to get ready for photosynthesis. And this is called sonic bloom. So then people just got a crazy idea and thought, what if we continuously expose plants to frequencies from music, and what would happen? Well, this guy in the 1960s exposed balsam plants to classical music and found that their growth rate increased by 20% compared to a control group, along with a 72% increase in biomass. Then he exposed them to old school classical music and increased their yield 25 to 60% more than the national average. And this is because the frequencies stimulate the plant's transportation of nutrients, proteins, and organelles in their fluids of the plants in the cytoplasm. And yes, birds chirping wakes up plants and helps them grow. I know it's insane. But listen, they did a study in Australia, and basically, obviously plants don't have ears. They have a part of their body, of their plant body, that just captures the sound's vibration. It is a different way of hearing, but it can be considered hearing. But it gets crazy because they don't like all music. The preferable music genres includes classical, jazz, meditation, singing bowls, violins, and symphonic orchestras. And they do not like metal, hard rock, hip hop, and techno, or high-pitched singing. You know, talking to plants is good, or you can just set up a radio playing the preferred music that would yield the growth.
The massacre of Christians in Syria has just taken a giant, drastic turn in the last 24 hours as we approach this blood moon. I believe all things are related. What started as a civil situation has literally turned into search and destroy of all Christians, children, wives, anything. And people in Syria right now are risking being unalive to bring this news to you and hoping that you will share this news and that you will speak up yourself.
Covering my face now because I don't want anyone to see my face, because if they see me, they will tell me I'm from Syria. I live now in the city of Latakia. Please, please, please. The media is not showing you anything. The terrorists are killing everyone, children, women, teenagers, old people. Just kill. There's more than 100 body in my. There's more than 100 body in my village now. Even in the city, they are just taking the children and the women and kill them. I don't know what to do with my mom and my two sisters. Please, you gotta help us. Nobody's talking anything about it. Not the social media or the TV.
Many of the Syrian Christians have all fled to this, I believe it's the airport. Meanwhile, they are being quite literally crucified. I've seen very dark videos of what's happening to children. Of course, I won't share them here. But the same thing's happening to the women, to the guys, to all of them. Even with this horrific event that reminds me of the Armenian G-word, the Bible talks about the celestial events being for times and seasons. We do know this stuff has been happening over there for a long time, but there's been a shift. And we really need to make people aware, and we really need to share their stories so the world knows what's happening. Above all else, pray.
That's kind of crazy, all that's going on, and all I see on the news is tariffs, price of eggs. You know, if that was happening in Europe, France, somewhere, it'd be national news. Crazy. You know, we World War III, right? Be World War III. It'd be on and popping. But over there in Syria, just it, like you said, it's not even on social media really. So that's how deep they're covering that. Are they in a lake? Looks like a lake.
Oh, fuck. They're mating, I think. Oh, it just hit the boat. Holy shit, that's a huge shark.
Check it out. Yeah, what is that? It's perfectly straight.
The Ukrainian military has sold those weapons on the black market around the world. These are facts. They've wound up in the hands of, among others, the Mexican drug cartels, the Taliban, Hamas in Gaza. Fact. And so this is a big deal, and I don't know why people feel like they have to lie about it. I know someone who bought some of the weapons. I don't know that it's about lying about it. I don't agree that those are facts. You believe the most corrupt country in Europe, which is so corrupt that NATO didn't want it as a member. You believe it's outside the realm of possibility that facing defeat, the leaders of that military would not sell the weapons that they're getting from the West?
You cannot substantiate a claim on the basis of mere suspicion. Are you texting while I'm having a conversation with you?
I'm texting right now.
Very rude.
No,
Very
I'm texting
rude.
on WhatsApp right now on this exact subject.
If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview.
Oh, man,
Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and that she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they all end up with that. That's part of what you get.
The reason they want a recession is because when a recession happens, the economy plummets, a bunch of companies go bankrupt, and only the oligarchs have the money left over to buy up everything when it's being sold for a fraction of its actual worth. If the whole economy goes under, only a small group of people are wealthy enough not only to be okay, but to start buying and accumulating. They take advantage of people's desperation by buying up all these properties that are being liquidated so that when the economy rebounds, before maybe they own, let's just say 1% of the economy, but then when everything gets cheap, they have less money in an absolute sense, but everything else is dirt cheap. So they buy, and then when the economy goes back up, now they own 2% of the economy. Yeah, recessions are good for people who, have the hunger and who are, willing to buy, and they have the capital. Will this recession affect other countries or just the EU and America? It'll affect the entire world.
You remember this, y'all? Remember this time? They didn't even want you outside in the open air.
What?
I remember the mountain I ran when I was out there was locked down. I used to hop the fence to get in the mountain to run it. So I'm like, I'm running this mountain, y'all. But they didn't even want you outside, at the parks. Like everything was shut down. You guys remember that? I used to drive home from LabCorp. I'd be working a midnight shift. They had the National Guard blocking off the streets out there by anybody that knows by Westgate before you get on the 101. Right there, had the National Guard shutting down, asking you, "What are you doing out here?" I was in my LabCorp van, so they gave me a pass. But those were just crazy times that were not too long ago.
Macaulay Culkin wearing a pizza
crazy
face
ever
mask.
since.
This just blows my mind, dude. The image is a still from a music video Culkin made with the Pizza Underground. Underground pizza, like, come on, man. Called the Pizza Underground a parody music? What about this is parody? I'm guessing this is supposed to be like his little podcast or something, but you see what he's doing and you see what he's wearing. I just don't understand why, man, after all you went through and you came out of, allegedly. I mean, we all have things in our past, man. We all do. But that's just weird, bro. I don't know, man. The little bunny ears podcast or whatever he's got, just these bunny ears are really, really creepy. And I know they want to get a reaction out of us. I just believe that he will. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what time frame this is from or whatever, but the bunny ears, man. And then the pizza, his pizza-obsessed Velvet Underground cover band. What is going on, dude? Like, what? Type in Macaulay Culkin pizza on, look, they've got him eating pizza. Oh, he's like, dude, what do y'all think?
Who's going to listen to that podcast? Is there people that would still listen to that? Because he's going to have 1 million hits. He puts a video out on YouTube, he's going to have 1 million views, 100,000 views. Like, are they just bots? Are they paid for by the company he's working with? It's got to be, because who's going to go listen to a Macaulay Culkin podcast? What are they going to talk about? Unless they're going to be exposing some things, but judging by the the logo of his podcast and all those things, he's in on it, y'all. It's crazy.
Space Force craft, similar to a space shuttle, just mysteriously landed after a 434-day mission out there in space. And basically, nobody even knew it was happening until it landed. So the Space Force people are saying, hey, we can't tell you anything that happened in this mission, but we can tell you the name of the ship or spacecraft. It's an X-37B. Oh, that helps a lot, knowing the code name. Here's a picture of the thing after it landed at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California. And it does look a lot like a space shuttle. But what was it doing if it was up there, rotating around the Earth for over 400 days? And by the way, if this Space Force thing was up there that long, they couldn't have picked up these lost astronaut bastards. I'm sure they would have appreciated the ride home. Well, since nobody involved will tell what they were doing up there, it's just a guess, but maybe they were looking into some of these shenanigans. Then again, who knows? Maybe they were just up there avoiding their families for over a year. Could be. Okay, I just wanted to share this with you. Shabadoo Booskies! Shabadoo!
Alright guys, so now they're spraying something. This wasn't happening. This was not happening. And now they're spraying something. Now there's 2 of them. I don't know what's being sprayed over there, but watch. Let's see if this one does it too. The other one just sprayed right now.
Crops out there in that desert.
Let's see if he does it. Nope, he's not spraying. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's spraying too. What are they doing? They're not crop dusters. Where's he at? That's not a crop duster. Where'd he go? Yeah, that's not a crop duster, guys.
Fire prevention? Or some
The
bullshit.
biggest conspiracy theory that
Probably
I
some bullshit.
wholeheartedly believe in, and I want to know if you believe in it too, but I truly think that the food companies and the pharmaceutical companies and the politicians
too.
are all working together to
drink
put
to
a
that.
bunch of crap into our foods so that we have to go and get sick care instead of health care and we all remain sick. Like, it's not that hard to not put a bunch of additives and chemicals into our foods. I'm going to France next week, and I typically don't eat processed food, but I'm just going to eat everything over there, and I'm going to see if I still feel how I feel by cutting out all processed foods in the United States. So let's see how this goes.
Wouldn't it be crazy if you're a victim of one of the biggest scams in human history? The US dollar is backed by nothing. And like, you have to buy oil with American money. So the rest of the world is also a victim here, not just Americans. And wouldn't it be crazy that every day you go to work for your money, the Federal Reserve prints more? And that simultaneously means that the money you're working for is worth less as you're working for it. The very idea of the Federal Reserve was concocted in a secret meeting held on Jekyll Island back in November of 1910. And it was just top financiers, bankers. They made this up. Not politicians. You see, back then, before, the US dollars could be redeemable for gold. Like, it was backed by gold. That's what that means. And wouldn't it be crazy that in 1933, with the passing of Executive Order 6012, the American government confiscated all the gold? And I guess it'd be kind of crazy if during COVID in March 2020, there were new policies passed. And these new policies made it so that any bank within the Federal Reserve System does not have to keep reserves in their vaults or anywhere. They don't need to have reserves. So they're giving you money they don't have. In the heat of the financial crisis of 2008, it is estimated that every dollar that was in a bank had been loaned 150 times. Furthermore, borrowers, so like big companies and rich people, hedge funds, yada yada, real estate probably, the top tier borrowers get access to the freshly printed money before everyone else. So what does that mean? They get it at a lower rate when the money's worth more, and then they will, lend it out. It gets dispersed into, down to the rest of us, scum. But that effectively means that by the time you get around to paying these people back, you're paying them back with money that's literally worth less value than it was when you got it. Nothing's changed. Just your money is now worth less because of inflation. So it's actually not that crazy for me to sit here and tell you money's not real, but we all need it.
You're effectively living in hell on earth, which is what Nagasaki was after the dropping of the bomb. People were walking around asking for water while their skin is melting off, like it's literal hell on earth. So he gave a speech to his community. He was one of the very few survivors in his community. He said, "I have heard that the atom bomb was destined for another city. Heavy clouds rendered that target impossible, and the American crew headed for the secondary target, Nagasaki. Then, a mechanical problem arose, and the bomb was dropped further north than planned and burst right above the cathedral. It was not the American crew, I believe, who chose our suburb. God's providence chose Urakami, the suburb, and carried the bomb right above our homes. Is there not a profound relationship between the annihilation of Nagasaki and the end of the war? Was not Nagasaki the chosen victim, the lamb without blemish, slain as a whole burnt offering on an altar of sacrifice, atoning for the sins of all the nations during World War II? Happy are those who weep. They shall be comforted. We must walk the way of reparation, but we can turn our mind's eyes to Jesus, carrying his cross up the hill of Calvary. The Lord has given, the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Let us be thankful that Nagasaki was chosen for the whole burnt sacrifice. Let us be thankful that through this sacrifice, peace was granted to the world and religious freedom to Japan." Wow. Is that not a profound perspective? That is the power of a relationship with Christ.
Jeffrey Epstein, who was deeply interested in all these same technologies, this is a whole other side of him that no one talks about, is his interest in technologists and geneticists, and all those things, right?
Yeah, well, he had a lot of influence over scientists. That's a creepy move to like take scientists and
throw
bring
parties for them, throw conventions for
Yeah.
them. And a couple of them, a couple of them had some serious accusations, like Marvin Minsky, for example. But I bet a lot of them were not compromised. Like Stephen Hawking, everyone freaked out when Stephen Hawking was on the list. But it makes perfect sense as you realize that he was throwing conventions on that island for scientists specifically to bring them all together, because that way you get connections, you can get favors, even if you're not blackmailing them. Then they just want to be on your good side because you have all these connections and you can fund all their projects, and you become this integral part of this technological sort of space.
Right, blackmail's not the only tool.
No,
That's a
no.
blunt instrument. There's a lot of just connection.
Party needs to actually answer those questions that I put forth. Who are we and what are we fighting?
And how do we
for?
meet the
And
moment?
how do we meet the moment?
Press secretary, you were also an assistant to the president, so that meant you were able to interact with the campaign off time.
Actually, I could not enter. I had a special kind of role as the press secretary. I did not interact with it.
So you had no, as a commissioned officer,
I could not.
So you had no insight into the polling that showed he would have lost everything.
I did not, because
Well, it does matter, though.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. Hold on. We're going to take a break because you see this conversation going.
You put them over your eyes. You go back to the eye doctor again. The doctor says, well, your prescription's a little worse. We should give you thicker ones. So you go back and they give you thicker ones, and then you have now thicker glasses. And you keep coming back till your eyes and your glasses are like this thick. You know, they're like so thick like this that you can't even see anything, because these things have completely blocked the UV spectrum and every spectrum you need to see to heal. And you're not using them anymore because you got glasses to do the work for you. If you don't use it, you lose it. And if you don't feed it, it's going to fall apart. So how does it make sense to keep going back to the same person who's telling you to keep putting these thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker glasses on, and then your eyes are going to get better? Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But if you started training them, start doing eye exercises, start putting some castor oil and some pearl all over your eyes, and you start feeding these beautiful eyes that are here, and give them some structured water, they begin to heal, and you can see again. And it's remarkable because we can reverse everything. We are self-regenerating beings. I've had so many people where they reach out and they've said, I've actually started to regenerate my eyesight. I went to the eye professional, and my eyesight has actually reversed. The points are going backwards. And that's the thing. When we address the root cause, which is usually lack of nutrition, or maybe a lot of toxin overload, or we're not using them, and what happens is they begin to...
I was watching some religious debates prior to this, and I actually found out, which I didn't know, that most, or at least a very large percentage of biblical scholars don't actually believe that the resurrection literally happened.
You don't think so?
Well, apparently, like, most biblical scholars don't, which is, I mean, it is hard to believe.
Well, this is...
What's hard to believe is this guy saying this, and he's got an upside down cross on his eye.
I believe that he did raise from the dead. When he rose from the dead, there was a 40-day period where Jesus appeared to over 500 people. It's not like a spiritual being raised from the dead, like in his physical, fleshly body, he's raised from the dead. 500 people saw this guy over a 40-day time period in the flesh. And then he ascended into heaven in front of a group of people. Some people were like, oh, these people are drunk and hallucinating. It was super early in the morning when they did that, and back in Jewish culture, that was just not a thing that occurred. So we can wipe that out of the thing. Number two, mass hallucination does not happen. That is like a very rare thing, if not, does not happen. No one was on drugs when this happened, and a buttload of people saw this guy ascend into heaven. Okay, so we're looking at that. And then my third thing is, all of these apostles and followers of Christ died for the fact that he raised from the dead. They didn't die for the fact that, oh, he lived and died. There's more evidence that Jesus Christ was a real dude than Alexander the Great. There was the same amount of evidence that Jesus Christ was a real guy back in that time period for that culture, that Caesar was a real guy. Caesar was a popular figure in the Roman government. There was just as much evidence for Jesus as there was for Caesar. So we can't deny that he wasn't a real person. It's just, was he God? Did he really raise from the dead? And I believe that. I mean, if you got guys dying for this stuff, I feel like if you weren't as confident in the fact that he rose from the dead, the guys that claim to have seen him face to face, if they weren't as confident, they wouldn't have died for it.
So Saudi Arabia experienced a sand tsunami today, you guys. Did you guys hear about that? And I can't even see where this thing is coming from. but this thing is coming fast. Y'all see that? Tell me we don't live in some crazy times, you guys, because when did we ever think about something like this happening? And then to be able to see it, look at that. It looks like crystals. Y'all see that? Look at the sand. I didn't even realize it, but it looks like they were, what is that? Are those like potatoes or something like that? I don't know what those are. But yeah, look at the sand, y'all. They look like little crystals. You guys ever heard of Libyan desert glass? It reminds me of that. I feel like nature, you know, the creator itself has a sense of humor, because these places, I'm noticing these places are getting hit over and over and over again with certain type of plagues or whatever you want to call them. Because the irony of this here is, like, Saudi Arabia is known for being a desert, and then you have a sand tsunami in the desert. That literally shows you that God has a sense of humor. Like, nature is hilarious, y'all. Like, because who thinks of this? But this literally shows y'all we have a new age coming into being, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Sandstorm, sand tsunami in Saudi Arabia. Let's get this shit, y'all. Peace in.
This is it.
Let's see where this goes.
Okay, guys, here we go. This is deep.
Yeah. Hear the noises down there. It's like water. Water on rocks. Damn. Like stone too. Doesn't even look like a PVC pipe. This isn't a replay, is it?
What the?
This damn rope you got.
I think that's the bottom. Oh my god, wow.
Yeah. And a copper pipe.
Let's talk about Cantinflas and the home he built for mermaids. Cantinflas, whose real name was Mario Moreno, was one of the most famous Mexican actors. He was super worldwide, everybody knew him. But he had a weird obsession. He was super obsessed with mermaids. His obsession grew so big to the point where he even wanted to marry a mermaid. Someone by the name Carlos knew of his obsession. He promised to fulfill Cantinflas with his dream of seeing a mermaid. He told him to build a mansion by the edge of the sea. This specific location is in Acapulco, which is one of the most famous places for tourists to go to the beach. Carlos also told him to build a statue by the edge of the sea. And he told him that whenever he goes outside at night, around 3 in the morning, he's gonna be able to see a mermaid. It is said that supposedly Cantinflas would see mermaids every night. He would stand by the edge with his statue and would be able to see them. There's even stories of him hosting private parties with the mermaids. The mansion had a small entrance that connects the ocean to the pool, so that the mermaids could enter and exit whenever they wanted to. After his death, due to legal reasons, the mansion had to be abandoned, and many explorers that go into the mansion claim to be hearing voices and laughter coming from around the mansion. There's also rumors that the statue comes to life at night and jumps into the ocean with the mermaids. What do you guys think of this urban legend?
Mexico's crazy, y'all.
I saw some shit that said you could put Mount Everest in the ocean and that's still not the whole ocean.
Dog.
That's how deep it is.
We went to the Bahamas and the whole family going out to snorkel. I'm still kind of bugging out, low. I'm like kind of nervous because like I have a phobia of like the ocean, like deep ocean. Honestly, bro, it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Like, it was so cool. Like, all the fishes swimming around. I saw a turtle. I was like following it for a little bit, like swimming with it. And then it ducked off into like a corner. When I turned around and looked up, it was just a drop and nothing but like dark blue, bro. I freaked out. You ever seen like emptiness, bro?
Just an abyss. Like,
yeah, you don't know what's out there, bro. What's looking back at you. Like, in my mind, it was another shark. He was still like this. Yo.
Just wait, like, you'll cross this line.
I know, bro. Right at the edge, like.
In the work.
I remember I used to do, in Arizona in the summertime, they have night trail runs. You know, I would do, back then, like 10, 11-mile runs, right? And there's hundreds of people you're running with. So, you know, you just put your head down with your headlamp and you get in the zone. You're just jogging. There comes a time when you look up and you're 5 miles out and you look around. You're all alone out there in the dark desert. And it gets a little eerie, y'all. I can imagine that ocean, like chasing this turtle, and then you look up, it's gone, and it's just you out there.
Ooh. Do not feel bad for calling in sick, whether you are or whether you're not. You shouldn't feel bad for it. Now think about it like this. You're going to be working potentially for the next 45 years of your life. You get an average of 28 days off for every 333 working days. And you're made to feel bad for calling in sick when you actually might be, or you just decide, you know what, you feel burnt out, overwhelmed, and you just want a few days off. Even if you got the doctor to sign you off for 2-3 weeks, don't feel bad for it because you give them so much of your time. It's weird how companies make you feel bad for calling in sick and then you feel like everyone's talking about you. This is an issue that is raised to me a lot. Aaron, I called in sick. And I've gone back and they're all talking about me. You know, this is child's play. Stop worrying about calling in sick if you just need some time off, just to reflect or do nothing or just spend time with family. Because you give pretty much every single day of your life to a company. So don't feel bad or worry about if people are talking about you if you want a week or 2-3 weeks off. What's the worst that's going to happen? You get a little strike on your time attendance. So what? Life is for living, people. Do not worry if you call in sick and don't worry about what people are talking about you because they don't honestly care.
This is off topic.
I don't know, about 2 or 3 weeks, right? But I remember when I worked at LabCorp in Northwest, I love running the mountains, as you guys know, the trail runs. But I used to love running after a nice rainstorm. So if it was raining in the morning, I'm calling in sick, y'all, because I want to go run that mountain in the rain. So I would still, when I worked the 9 to 5, I would still try to put myself first before that, right? Put my happiness, put myself first before that job. So if I wanted to take a day off to go run the mountain after a fresh rainstorm, I would do it.
To the dolphins, though, I'd like to remind you that the government told us that the aliens are living in the ocean, and they also told us it's illegal to try and interact with a wild dolphin. And I mean interact in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't try and talk to it. Don't try and elicit a response from it. Don't feed it. Don't touch it. Don't nothing. Don't even look at that bitch. Now, they say this is to protect dolphins and humans alike, and I'll buy that because they're wild animals, okay? But why can't I even try to speak to it? Why can't I even just try to elicit out of it? I don't know how dolphins sound. The fuck, they don't understand me, and I don't understand them, right? Right? It is a felony to even attempt this behavior. There's even a snitch line for it. Dolphins are too smart. They are self-aware. They have shown signs of empathy because they'll help out other creatures, including human beings. They can communicate amongst themselves in a language that we don't understand at all. It's the clicks and the, you know what I'm saying, those high-pitched noises. Some of them our ears can't even pick up on. They are the second smartest creature on Earth behind us. Do they have a conscience? They live in an environment that we haven't explored 80% of. We don't know 80% of what's down there in that ocean, but you know who does? Dolphins. And we are not allowed to talk to them.
Got some points.
I'd like to know why that's a felony.
Let me put this on TV to distract us, y'all.
For my vacation, I'm flying to Mars.
My pet chihuahuas have got their own cars.
I'll get 3 diamonds to show and tell. But if we don't help people with AIDS, we're going to hell.
Got human hair wigs and therapy pigs to keep us out of the rut.
When it's tax time, we don't pay a dime. So thanks for that, Donald Trump.
Your righteous deeds would Barack and Michelle. But if we don't help people with AIDS, we're going to hell.
This year, I went into Songdung, which is the world's largest cave. That was only discovered in 1995. It's this massive opening, 6 miles of underground cave. You know, you don't see daylight for 2 days.
6 miles.
You should look at the pictures of this place. You'll love it. I mean, it's just this, it looks like something out of Avatar. I mean, this cave, you can fit New York City skyscrapers inside of it. It's so big. Oh! It has its own weather system.
What?
And we got to go into it this year because we were looking for this habitat. There's, you know, Hang Song Doong, that's the entrance to it. And like, look at the size of it. The scope of it is
So I need
massive.
something to compare it to. What am I looking at? I'm seeing the.
Those are
tents?
little tents for people.
Oh, those are tents.
There's full lake systems in there. And
Oh my God.
there's a person standing on top of that little pyre right there. For
Oh
scale.
my God.
Yeah, that's why. But yeah, so that's the wedding
Oh
cake.
my God, that's incredible.
I have a picture just like that I'm very proud of.
My God.
Adults who enjoy Disney World are mentally ill. There's obviously some sort of mental illness going on here. I think more research needs to be done. There are adults who do this without kids, for themselves. Imagine that for a second. You're an adult, you have some time off of work, you don't have any kids, and you decide to go to Disney World.
First off, I've been an EMT just for a little bit, and like I ain't never experienced nothing like this. So as we driving back to base, I swear I seen a face in the rearview mirror. Like, fuck, I need to turn this engine off though, cause like we're gonna be stranded out here. I'm not trying to go back near this truck.
Get your ass in that ambulance and go save the world.
I don't know if you see it, but can y'all see that back door? Like it just, like it just flew open. Like, can y'all? Nah, what the? Can y'all see it? Nah, hell no. Heck, nah.
These visitors are at a museum dedicated to the legendary Titanic. Here,
Anyone can experience just how freezing the water was when passengers plunged into the open ocean. One man could only last 8 seconds, but a determined young woman decided to push through. Despite the bone-chilling cold, she endured an impressive 40 seconds. It's chilling to imagine what those people felt back then.
Why do you think that we haven't found a Bigfoot body, though? What do you think's up with that?
If you're looking for a Bigfoot body or bones or anything, you're looking for a needle and a stack of needles. You know, there's a ton of bear out in the woods, right? You'd think that we would trip over the amount of deer bones that are in the woods. But going back to the bears, I ask hunters all the time. I say, they come up to me and they say, Mike, I've been hunting for 40 years and I've never come across a Bigfoot bone. And I say, sir, and I hope it's a sir with that voice. But I say, sir or ma'am, I say, how many times have you come across a bear skeleton in the 40 years? And their minds are blown because nobody ever comes across a bear skeleton. It doesn't happen unless it's roadkill.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't find a bear skeleton. We know there's bear. We know there's a ton of bear. Now, take an animal that wants to remain hidden. Take something that there's not a ton of. I think there's 2,000 Bigfoot that live in the entire United States. Not a lot. Mostly in the Pacific Northwest. You have a majority of that population in the Pacific Northwest. So you have, east of the Mississippi, you have a very limited number of population. So you're not going to find a Bigfoot bone.
Well, hello. It's Vegas Police here in the back of my least favorite place in Las Vegas. This is Resorts World, and I'm banned from going in here. They threw me out of here twice. But I thought I would come over here and show you once again that it is totally dead, it's totally boring, it's totally empty. And I'd like to address with you their stock price. When they decided to come to America in 2011, you can see right here, their stock was $21. Can you see that? And what was it yesterday? $3.56. And that's what happens when you come to the United States of America and you have a FU attitude towards your customers. They actually opened this place up with no room service. They told you, hey, FU, use the app. And when you went to go get comps from them in the beginning, they wanted double the comp rate of the Win because they thought there was something special. They thought they were going to get $600 a room here every single night. They average something like $200 now. Their vacancy rate has gone up 4% in the last year as they continue to wither and die on the vine. A bunch of empty suits, including the ex-governor and the guy who almost bankrupted MGM. And some dude from Iowa who ran a charity casino is over here now. And they have no idea what they're doing. And they continue to flounder. A total disaster. Resorts World, Las Vegas. Vegas Policy.
This is it. This is where China has us beat. They've made dark factories. This is all over the internet right now. They have dark factories that are the future of 24/7 smart manufacturing. They have whipped us in the robotics industry. They have the Internet of Things blended with AI to create a factory where they no longer need human workers. All they need is robots to create other robots, and they can shut the lights off. That's why they're calling them dark factories, yo. They're calling them dark factories because they don't need the power of electricity to keep the lights on. They just need the power to power these things, and these robots can work for hundreds of thousands of hours. What does that mean for you? That means your job might be in jeopardy. That means our jobs might be in jeopardy. There might be all kinds of different industries that's going to be having problems with this. What do you think? Leave your comment in the comments section. We're already at the iRobot section of history. Soon we'll be at the movie Megan and the movie Subservience, where the AI robots are going to take over and become self-aware. Do you think this is a good idea? Leave your comment in the comment section. Love to hear it. Locked On Universe out. Peace.
Want to know why everything is so expensive now? I'll tell you. It's because you people don't stop buying stuff. You're always buying things. Think about when you were a kid and you lost a ball that you played with outside with your friends. That was like your one ball. When you lost that, it was like the end of the world, and you would spend an entire day trying to get the ball. Didn't they make a movie about this? About a bunch of kids losing a baseball? Now when kids lose things, they just ask their parents for another one. It just instantly gets ordered on Amazon. Technology is great. It's fantastic. We love it. We don't want to go back to a life without it. There's also the other side of the coin, where this readily available surplus of items that we can buy at any time has led to things getting extremely expensive despite them being very cheap to make. Are there a million other factors? Of course there are. But go look at your orders for Amazon for the year of 2024. Add them all up real quick in a calculator. See what that looks like. If you do a little bit of an audit on that budget of yours, especially those of you who aren't doing so well financially and are having trouble saving money, you'll probably find some stuff that you probably shouldn't have bought and that you didn't really need. As always, this is a supply versus demand problem, and a lot of you watching this would do a whole lot of demanding and not a lot of supply.
I was sitting one day drinking some coffee, and I was looking.
Or I get killed in the comments. I buy a lot on Amazon because guess what? You can't go to the stores and buy it. And if you can, it's 10 times more expensive. This Fitbit right here, I went to get this in person at Walmart because I saw online that it was on sale. I went to Walmart to buy it. Guy took it out, cashed it up, said it was like, let's just say $200. I was like, ho. It says it's online, it's $100. Well, you have to buy it online. So you know what I had to do? I had to sit there, pay for it online. The same watch, right? This guy went to put it back in the little cage, and 3 hours later, I came to pick it up. Now, how stupid is that? That guy made me go online, pay for it, and then come back 3 hours later to pick up my watch to save that $100. That's why I shop on Amazon, y'all. It's unfortunate. I wish I can go to the store. I love going to the stores, right? I love being out there, being around people, chit-chatting with the cash register lady. You know what I mean? I like it. But they're forcing us not to. I mean, you go buy, let's just say, some shirts or some underwear, they're all sold out. Got to go on Amazon to get them. Better quality, too, on Amazon. You can't buy, Champion, that's what I don't know, Champion boxers, right? You can't go buy Champion boxers at Walmart. You got to buy Fruit of the Loom, which suck, right? They rip in 3 days. They're forcing us, y'all. They're forcing us to go on, Amazon and getting rid of these stores.
The line at Chick-fil-A.
Just told you guys what kind of underwear I wear.
Starting at 10:30 in the morning, and I stayed there for an hour. It never let up. I said, ain't no way in hell that a chicken sandwich tastes that good. So I said, let me see. I wonder what they're putting in it. And I started doing the research right at the time that you remember, in the hood, there was this argument, Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A.
20 y'all were getting killed
and
over that
everybody was
Popeyes
going back
chicken
and
sandwich.
forth, and you seen people at Popeyes, man got shot. Man shot somebody because they didn't have no more chicken sandwiches left. I mean, I said, this ain't no regular chicken sandwiches. So I went and the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Come to find out, they have over 40 ingredients in the Popeyes chicken sandwich. 32 of them were man-made chemicals. And I said, well, let's see what Chick-fil-A has. Over 50 chemicals in the chicken sandwich. Over 40 of them were man-made chemicals. I said, so hell, this is a dope sandwich. So they really are flipping birds over there. I mean, because there's no way in the world to justify. So whenever I seen that, I said it in a message. And someone took the clip of it and then went on the website of Chick-fil-A, had it broke down where they were clicking on it, showing all of the ingredients and these chemicals that were in it. Do you know the next day, Chick-fil-A took that down off their website? But now you can't find the ingredients to the Chick-fil-A sandwich or the Popeyes chicken sandwich because they don't want you to know that they're drugging you, they're doping you, that they have you wanting the food not for nutritional value, but because you become addicted by the MSG and the other chemicals that they've inserted in.
You have I mean, we know that this stuff is not good for us. 90% of the people in that drive-through, well, people think Chick-fil-A is a little healthier, right? You can get a grilled chicken sandwich. It seems like it's more whole, hearty type of food, right? But still, we know 90% of the people in McDonald's drive-through, maybe even more, no, this food is terrible for me. No, tomorrow or tonight, I am not going to sleep good. I'm going to feel like crap. But we still go. Me included, y'all. I ain't perfect. I still struggle with it, right? I try to eat clean. I eat clean probably 80% of the week, 80%, eat bad 20%, trying to get it to 99, 1%, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's not easy. We're addicted. We are an addicted culture over here to this terrible food, and they're just making profit on us.
1,000 reels for the whole Apollo 11 mission has gone missing. How do you lose 14,000 reels of telemetry tape? And I might add one more thing here. It isn't just for Apollo 11. All of the missions, a total of 140,000 reels of telemetry tapes have gone missing. They actually went missing in the early 70s. I actually looked into this and researched this and realized and found out that it was NASA themselves that signed out all those telemetry tapes on the archives. That's all on record. We don't specifically know who, and those tapes have disappeared. You have to come to one conclusion. Those tapes were destroyed.
Isn't it crazy that when we view a train that is moving, we can see the smoke going behind it? But when we see a volcano erupting, the smoke goes straight up. But the Earth is supposed to be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. Isn't it also crazy that when we have 130 mile per hour winds, everything is just destroyed? It's a hurricane? But this nice calm day, the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. What's also crazy? The Felix space jump, where he started his 2.5-hour ascension from Roswell, New Mexico, about 128,000 feet in the air. Jumped, took him 4 minutes to land, and he landed 44 kilometers away from where he started. 2.5 hours, 1,000 miles per hour spinning, lands 44 kilometers away from where he started. Yeah, that makes sense. You see, some of us aren't completely indoctrinated. We aren't sheep, and we know that this is all a lie. You see, we know that we've been lied to, and we trust our own eyes and our own senses. Most people just trust Google. It's quite literally laughable. Now, if you're a truth seeker who sees beyond the illusion and wants to connect with other truth seekers and crack the codes to this reality, then I have created something special just for you. An exclusive community of like-minded individuals dedicated to uncovering the true nature of our reality and mastering the art of manifestation. If you wish to escape the system, then comment, "I am ready," and I will give you access. Peace and love.
It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. I've never seen human beings like that. That's like being on another planet.
What is the story with that family?
The parents were double. I think their parents were double first cousins. But in addition to being double first cousins, their fathers on both the mother and the father side were twins, identical twins. So it's like the same person, and then the parents were cousins on top of it.
Oh.
Yeah. And then who knows what other environmental issues there are.
What is a double cousin? Double cousins, first cousins, but twice. They share both sets of grandparents. It can happen both parents of one double first cousin or also the siblings of parents of another double first cousin. This is like a puzzle for a test.
I don't explain it. I don't understand.
It can happen when two siblings meet and have offsprings for two other siblings.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But there's a
from the low 400s for just this little slab. That's a problem. That's a huge problem.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That last clip, Segovia's Man Cave, link down below. We're going to be getting into inflation TikToks over there, y'all. I enjoy them. I have fun doing those. Car payments, the lonely epidemic, the dating world, the inflation, the price of eggs, people living out of RVs now, and, you know, just all these different types of TikToks. These we stick to this genre over here. Over there, we're going to go a whole bunch of different types of genres of TikToks over there. So be sure to hit that link down below. There will be a video up today, if not tomorrow, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Thank everybody for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Had a good day yesterday. Had a nice, spent some time, drank some coffee with my parents in the morning, right? Put together a garden bed for Mama Bear. She wants to get into gardening. She wants to grow some vegetables, so we got that in the backyard. Over the weekend, we put some fans up. We put a shed up in the backyard, me and my dad. My truck's not ready yet. Hopefully it's ready today. Mama Bear's got an appointment in another hour. We got to leave. So after that, hopefully my truck's ready, so we don't have to go all the way back out there later. But it was just a good day yesterday. Dinner, we went to have some chicken wings. We went to watch a movie. The movie kind of sucked. Last Breath, do not recommend it. But nonetheless, it was nice to get out. But we missed our baby boy, y'all. It's different than going out now. I'm like, man, I feel like, I want him here. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, y'all, hope everyone out there has a good day today. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, hit that link down below. Go subscribe to my second channel. I'm gonna start posting over there. I know I say it all the time, y'all, but I'm starting to get in that rhythm. I'm starting to get in that flow. Just had a newborn. I'm ready to start posting over there too. Probably 4 videos a week. Not every day over there. Not yet every day over there. 4 videos, 3 or 4 videos a week over there, just to get some momentum going, and then we'll see if we up it. But appreciate all the love you guys showed for the birthday wishes, y'all. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Later.